Welcome to Your Powerful Legacy TV. My name is 𝗵𝘂𝙪𝙧, and I'm joined today by Kristina Kepperling and Rob Kepperling of Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. To our viewers at home, do you worry about outliving your money in retirement? This is the #1 common fear across the board that retirees are facing. We're going to do a deep dive into that today, so stay tuned. Kristina, how are you?
Oh, fantastic. Great to be here with you always, my dear friend.
I love being with you, my dear friend. It's the highlight of my day every time we're together. I always look forward to it. Rob, how are you?
Extremely blessed. I'm happy to be tagging along.
I love having you here. It's always an amazing show. It's filled with information. We have fun. We talk about a lot of different topics, sometimes getting off track. Speaking of which, The Retirement Train, the book next to you, I love that, getting off track.
Oh, yes.
You like that reference?
Off track. Yeah.
Choo-choo, choo-choo. And I love the fact that we're here together talking about such an important topic today,
Yes.
outliving your money. A huge worry that people have. There was a study that was done recently. This is according to Catherine Pomeroy with Kiplinger, that less than 20% expect to maintain a comfortable lifestyle in retirement for those retirees that are 50 and up. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's staggering. Kristina, let's jump into that.
Well, I don't want to just talk about retirees only. I think every household that I've had a chat with is worried about this.
Absolutely.
Not being able to live the type of lifestyle that they want to because inflation is taking such a toll.
Yes.
And it's across the board. It's from our taxes and our insurance on our homes and our automobiles to our utilities, our food, our fuel. Everyday living has inflated so much, it's really taken a toll on every household. Now, when we're talking about retirees, what if you are on a fixed income? What if inflation ends up making you have to choose between something like medications that save your life and staying warm in the winter or cool in the summer?
Right.
That is very real. So I can see why only 20% expect to maintain that comfortable. I think it's less. Not many people expect that at all because things are just so uncertain right now.
Sure, absolutely. And obviously, Rob, Kristina mentioned inflation. One of the things that people talk about would be their declining finances. And so how is that tied in specifically to inflation? Because we've talked about the cost of goods. They seem like they're staying the same and going up. And yet everything that we see on the news tells us that inflation is starting to be under control. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, inflation is not going to go down. It's went up. It may level off at some point, but we won't see it go down. We don't think we will. We don't have that crystal ball, but
yeah.
Leveling off seems to be what it would possibly do. But I want to read this. And that question's really good. And those 50 and up, right? So I had to do some digging on this. We had statistics from 60 years old. So in Kentucky, the population over 60 is 925,000 people. That's 21% of the population. If we remove 17% of that, that leaves us 767,750 people that are unsure about or they have that fear of declining finances in their older age. 767,750. That's a huge number.
That is a huge number. And you're talking only about Kentucky.
We're just talking about Kentucky.
Wow. So think about that across the board nationwide. That is scary.
Well, in Kentucky, a lot of people enjoy moving to Florida. That's one of the most popular things. I don't know what it is. It's Florida and it's Phoenix.
Yes, yes.
Because that's the warm place, right?
Absolutely.
And so we have so many retirees that have moved to Florida. And of course, we continue that service and that relationship. And I fly down to Florida to meet with clients and they're telling me the same thing. I'm so worried about this. And of course, the population being, almost 10 times what it is in Kentucky down in Florida. People are fearful because it's very real.
Yes.
I want to make sure and let you know, folks, these fears are very valid. But I also want to talk about what we can do to help hedge against those fears. So first off, what if you knew what was going to happen? Well, we don't. So let's plan for what the worst could be.
Absolutely.
We could see over the next 30 years 5 to 7 bear markets, which is when the market is down, like bear in hibernation. And we could also see a full market correction or a reset because those come every 25 to 50 years. So knowing that that's a possibility, if that's not part of your plan, you do not have a plan.
Yeah. What's the old saying? You plan for the worst and pray for the best.
Yes, yes. What about enjoying a worry-free retirement? That is the goal for everyone. How do you help someone get there?
Man, I love hearing people tell me that they don't have worries in retirement because they know I've got it.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite things that my clients say. And it's not just that they know that I've taken care of them, it's that I've shown them that they're taken care of.
Yes.
I love that feeling. Truly worry-free about your finances. The number one worry that you should have is, do you have enough time to play pickleball before the sun goes down?
That is a great worry to have.
That's about it. And then worry-free retirement, that's because we've included everything. You know the timing of your Medicare and your Social Security and your taxes and just everything retirement. You know what's going to happen beyond with your legacy. When you have all of those things in place, it can create a worry-free retirement.
Absolutely. Rob, what does that feel like when you have someone in your office and you're able to tell them everything that we have designed for you, you're in the perfect place? What does that feel like?
At first, you watched everybody come in, and then over the course of the meeting, they start to feel more comfortable, they start breathing better, they start sharing more information. Now I think we get to the point where we know what's going to happen, and we just wait for it. So as we start talking, let them feel more comfortable, we can just pretty much time when their shoulders are going to kick back, when they're going to feel a little bit better, when they're just happy and smiling versus being all tensed up and their arms around their other arms.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Kristina, what about planning mistakes to avoid? Let's dive into that for a little bit.
So I can think of two major planning mistakes. First off, people retiring at the wrong time. That's a really big deal. So, and collecting money from certain buckets at the wrong time. So when we're having the conversation about where you're at in your retirement right this moment, we do have a chart called the 3 financial phases. And this is expressed in many, many different ways. First off, we start off we're going to have contributions and accumulation inside of your retirement. What this really means is you're just putting money into your retirement savings. Then it jumps into more of a conservation or preservation, because what you've earned, you need to start holding on to some of that, or you may not have the savings that you need for your retirement how and when you want it to be. Then eventually it becomes the distribution or decumulation phase. That is my favorite. Oh my gosh, I love talking about this. And in this stage, we need to make sure that it's tax favorable. We've accounted for inflation, fees, healthcare, all these items together. The number one thing that I think people are worried about besides running out of money is going to be taxation.
Yes.
So we do have a little something for you. If you're watching the show today, there's a retirement tax bill calculator that we have on our website. Folks, we're seeing this being used on a regular basis, and it's for you. We pay for this software for you, and it's not information where you're going to get a bunch of phone calls or all of a sudden a bunch of different things are going to pop up on your phone. Jump onto yourpowerfullegacy.com. Take a look at this. It's going to give you a really good snapshot of what your taxes could be and what we could do to make them what they should be.
Rob, you and Kristina have a very special offer to present to the clients at home today that are watching for the very first time. Let's talk about what that is.
So folks, if you're watching at home, I want to start off with a statistic that we have out here. So there's a study that shows that in retirement, over a 25-year period, if you self-manage your money, you gain 50% less. And another statistic says only 29% of Americans have a financial advisor.
Wow.
So we're missing some opportunities here. Kristina and I are willing and wanting to give you our time at a no obligation consultation. Give us a call, 877-893-5099, or click on that QR code at the bottom of your screen.
Rob, thank you so much. Kristina, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, that number to call is on your screen, 877-893-5099. This is the perfect opportunity for you to claim that complimentary consultation with Rob and Kristina. It starts with one thing, a phone call, 877-893-5099. Or if you have your smartphone handy, you can grab that, click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to the landing page for Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services, and you can claim your spot accordingly. The one thing I would like to make crystal clear is that this time is specifically set aside just for you. You're not going to be rushed out. You're not going to be rushed through. Kristina and Rob really want to get to know you one-on-one, and they want to know what your goals, your dreams, and your hopes are for retirement. Let them design a plan that's going to work for you. We have to take a very short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We're talking about outliving your money and ways to avoid that in retirement. Stay tuned.
I
I've yet to see someone come in and they actually have a full plan or strategy in place. That's just not happened. I get so many that'll come in, they'll have this big binder with charts and graphs and all these fancy items. Truly, I can ask a couple of small questions like, well, what is your strategy for your required minimum distribution or your taxes? It's not there. How much is your income going to be next year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road? They honestly can't even tell me the answer. That's why they don't have a strategy. We're going to talk about everything. All the things that you don't want to talk about. Politics, religion, taxes, obviously money. We're going to talk about all those things very comfortably and very happily. I think that today we're in unprecedented times. Everyone who comes in gets a copy of my book, The Retirement Train. It's completely different than any other book out there. It's an easy read, it's fun, it has amazing information that's easy to understand, which is important. You're not going to come in and get that corporate mumbo jumbo, a bunch of abbreviations that you don't understand. You're going to feel very well informed. You're going to feel like someone cares about you, because we do. That's one of the things that I feel like is the greatest blessing, is getting to care for other human beings and show them how we care by giving them that information. Whether we choose to move forward in business or not, people are always very happy, and that's the essence of what we're looking for.
Welcome back to Your Powerful Legacy TV. My name is Cynthia 𝙀𝙀, joined today by Kristina Kepperling and Rob Kepperling of Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. We're talking about the fear of outliving your money. We're talking about ways to avoid that, so giving you peace of mind. Kristina, in the commercial break, we talked about your book, and actually it was shown on the television screen while the commercial was playing. I love The Retirement Train. Shall we, Rob?
Choo choo.
It's amazing. It's a fun read. It's easy to understand, and it's so enjoyable. Let's talk about the passion behind writing that book and what people can find inside.
So when I began writing this book, and by the way, we would love to give you a copy. You're welcome to this. It's not for sale. So please stop by our Lexington or Louisville firm. Just drop in. Let's get you a copy. Even if you don't feel like you need an appointment or whatever else it may be, we'd love to give this information to you. I was on a cruise, and we were in Juneau, Alaska. And for the day excursion, I decided to take a train ride to Juneau, or through Juneau, I guess. This old antique train, and they had like these church benches that you're sitting on, and there was a scenic view ticket, and then there was just a train ride ticket.
Okay.
I bought the scenic view ticket, and I had this new camera that I didn't know how to use, so I ended up using my phone. So I'm taking all these pictures, and there's this guy and this lady next to me on the regular ticket on the other side, kind of bickering a little bit. And she's like, see, I told you we should have bought the scenic ticket. And he's like, yeah, there's a lot of things I should have done different.
Oh my goodness.
And it just got me thinking about, in retirement and in life in general, what are some things that we can do different? The book is very raw. I'm very open about making mistakes and what we do to correct them. A lot of them are my mistakes. Folks, I came from nothing. I truly understand what it's like to have a hungry belly and empty pockets, and there is no better life lesson than those two things.
Yeah.
And so in The Retirement Train, it shows you how to manage your finances from day one. This is a legacy book. You can talk about your children, your grandchildren, whatever it may be. How do we have healthy finances through every stage of life? And then obviously into retirement, and what does that look like? There are a lot of details, but again, just like you mentioned, Cynthia, it's an easy read. That's done on purpose.
Yes.
I want you to understand this book. I want you to feel like you're getting the information that you truly need. And I want you to see that you can have a good, successful, peaceful retirement.
And so how do they get a copy of the book, Kristina?
Yeah, so if you just click on that QR code below, first off, that's going to set you up with an appointment to come in and see us. But also, you're welcome to stop into the Lexington or the Louisville firm. Our staff would just love to see you. Come in, grab a copy. We're only going to ask for one thing. Can we have your name? That's it. Because we love to just have a list of the guests that have come in and picked up a book. That's all it is. Nothing major. So it's that easy. It's for you. There's no obligation, no cost to anything. Just come in and grab it.
I love that. Kristina, thank you. Rob, we're talking about outliving your money. We're talking about some ways that we can avoid that. Let's talk a little bit about being overly optimistic about retirement expectations. Let's dive into that. What does that mean, being overly optimistic about retirement expectations?
It means very confident that everything is going to last for your lifetime. and we don't know how long you are going to live. People are living longer every day, and that's some of the problems with some of the older pensions out there. And we want to make sure that you have it. Confidence sometimes will hurt you. Sometimes when you have worries in retirement, that kind of helps you cut back and you spend a little less, and you make sure it stretches out. You make sure you have a legacy for people. And it's very, very important not to get too confident on this and start overspending, especially right out of the gate. When most people will tend to spend that money out of the gate, we want to make sure that we curb that just a little bit and then make sure we stretch it out over time.
So that's the go-go year. So that's like purchasing like the boat and the RV and the luxury car all at once because you're retired, but that can be detrimental.
Well, and I hear optimism on another level as people are very optimistic that they're going to spend less money in retirement. That is very rare. I encourage you to get out there and practice retirement for just a moment. Try and spend only 75% of what you're spending right now. See how that one works out for you. Most of the time, it's not going to work.
Right.
And being overly optimistic, well, that's a really big mistake because then obviously you're not going to have what you need. And I really love optimism. So instead of being optimistic about the expectations, let's be optimistic about the facts. That's where you're going to have a successful retirement.
Absolutely. And what about claiming Social Security benefits too early? I know a lot of people get advice at the water cooler from someone they're working with, and they'll say, you know what, turn it on early, turn it on as soon as you can, because if you wait, it's going to go away. What advice do you have to those folks that are hearing that from other people?
Well, just make sure you know the rules.
Okay.
And also, if you're married, you want to make sure that if you turn your Social Security on early, that your spouse is going to have what they need. I know my husband's about 5 years older than me, and he's earned more money in his lifetime overall with the Social Security statistics and the top 35 years because women generally have an earnings gap. We were just talking about this on break, and there are some just crazy statistics on how we've got this big gap that we would need to fill with our spouse's Social Security and survivor benefit. And chances are he's not going to be here. So I would really love to have that differential.
Yes.
Well, if he files too early, that's going to lock in that benefit, and then possibly I won't have the income that I need down the road. So that's a really big deal. And I'm putting that on a personal basis because I do hear people that say, I want to file right now because it's probably not going to be there. I just want to put this in your mind for a moment. What would happen if Social Security is not there? Folks, that would be like a zombie apocalypse. That is so not real. That's not going to happen. It would not work out at all if there was a change to where all the money that you have contributed into Social Security was not going to come back to you. Those benefits stopped. So let's just not worry about that. Let's not have that as a piece of the, just I call it the to-do about worrying list.
Exactly, exactly.
And a lot of people have that. They're like, I need to worry about this.
Yeah, because I should.
90% of the things that we worry about don't happen.
Yeah, 90% of them don't, so don't worry about that. I do see a lot of changes coming for Social Security, and I'm curious to see how it's all going to shake out. But back in 1935, when President Roosevelt put this in action, that full retirement age was 65. Well, now it's just been upgraded to 66 or 67 once.
Yes.
Since 1935. Well, life expectancy is over 25 years different.
Wow.
So they've got to make some changes because of those mortality rates, and we'll see what's going to happen. I would say it's going to be something like what they did last time. So perhaps if you're born after 1970 or 1975, they might change your full retirement age to 68 or 69, something like that. I don't think it's going to be a massive leap, but rather a progressive adjustment.
Okay, thank you so much. Kristina, I'm sorry, Rob, please go ahead.
I was just saying that the last statistic I looked at it, the highest growth of population that we have is the centurions. People live into 100, and that continues to increase.
I love that. That's great. It shows that people are really taking care of themselves. Kristina, we've talked a little bit about your book, and I'd love to give people the opportunity to grab a copy right now. You and Rob have a very special offer to present. Let's talk about what that is, and once again mention the book before we reopen the phones.
We do. Folks, first off, I want to take just a moment and thank you so much for spending your time with us today. That means the world to us, and we would love to offer you a little bit of our time. So we are offering a complimentary consultation. You're going to call the number on the screen, 877-893-5099, or click that QR code below. It's so easy. You're going to get on our calendar. That's it, at your convenience. Well then, once you set your appointment, our staff is going to contact you the next business day, confirm the appointment by email, and also let you know a list of documents to either send in advance or to bring with you to make the most of our time together so we can get you the information that you're seeking. We're not going to offer you business. We're not going to sell you anything. And what's more is we're going to do what we say. This is kind of refreshing. It's kind of sad that something so mediocre has become excellent and people love that, but they're telling me that they love this. And I know a lot of times people have watched the show for several months or even several years now, and they're like, oh no, I'm not calling into a television show. Well, I want you to. For some of you, this will be a second opinion, and that's okay. So please take just a moment, call us 877-893-5099, or click that QR code. I know you know how to do it. We did it with our restaurants during COVID, so just click on that QR code real quick. Boom, it's gonna work out for you.
Kristina, thank you so much. Rob, thank you so much. To the viewers at home, that number to call is on your screen, 877-893-5099. We have to take a very short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We're talking all about the fear of outliving your money. We're talking about some ways to safeguard against that. Stay tuned. We'll be right back momentarily.
Better is just better, but it doesn't begin without a plan. Better, it's the American way. From a better house, a better career, to a better life for our kids, Americans strive for better. When it comes to your retirement, what does better mean to you? Better income, better lifestyle, better solutions. A better retirement begins with a financial plan. To get your complimentary financial plan, call the number you see here. It's your retirement, an opportunity for better.
Welcome back to Your Powerful Legacy TV. My name is Cynthia 𝘲𝙗, joined today by Kristina Kepperling and Rob Kepperling of Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. We're talking about the fear of outliving your money and ways to prevent that. Kristina, let's talk about some adequate steps to safeguard. How can you help safeguard putting those rails up, if you will, or like Rob likes to say, the little bumpers in the bowling alley lane? How can we do that?
So this is a really broad subject. So I want to start right out of the gate with saying we need to safeguard you from running out of money, so that's going to be an income plan. Right out of the gate, we need to make sure that you're going to have what you need. And if you're coming into retirement with some debt, sometimes that's going to take away from that. So we would have the conversation about debt, we would have the conversation about income, and then what does that spending need? I have a little fun fact for you, Cynthia.
Okay.
I don't know if you're going to believe this or not, but most people that come into the firm and they are getting a consultation have no idea how much they're spending every month.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is interesting.
Well, I really hate to say it, but I think that that's actually a very valid thing to say, because I have no idea how much we spend every month. It
Neither do
changes.
I was gonna
It
say
depends
the
on
same.
what my Amazon bill is.
Totally.
I mean, that's one thing or another.
Absolutely.
Well, and utilities continue to swing. We've just had so many extra things come up. It's like the curse of the appliances and HVAC. And these things are very real in retirement, just like they are in everyday life. So
Absolutely.
again, having that conversation. An emergency fund, that's another way that we can have a conversation about protecting your assets and making sure that you have what you need. Folks, we could be using a trust to protect your legacy. That could be something that we would discuss. And at Powerful Legacy, we have powerful partners. So we have an attorney that we can quarterback you over to make sure that those needs are taken care of, if that applies to you. Some people think they need something, and then it turns out they don't. And I've seen people go in and pay for these very expensive trusts, and they really don't even need it. I had someone that came in, paid almost $5,000 for a trust, didn't own a home, and had less than $100,000 in a retirement account and paid that.
Oh my.
Because they were talked into it.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
Yes.
Wow. Rob, what about this next one? Failing to plan for long-term care and medical needs.
Quickest way that you can run out of money. It's one of the things that we see the most. The average stay in a nursing home is 875 days.
Wow, is that what that
average?
is?
Right. So that's a long time.
That is a long time, and it adds up quickly.
It does. It does. Very expensive. Now, nursing homes cost different depending on where you're at, but those are extremely expensive, and they continue to go up just because of healthcare needs, healthcare costs, medication costs. So just think about that. If you're spending $25,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month, how fast that can go if you haven't planned for it.
Very quickly.
So not just
again,
long-term care, it's medical.
Yes.
Folks, I have a really crazy stat for you. You need to plan on about $300,000 over your and your spouse's lifetime if you're married. For all your medical costs, that doesn't include long-term care. $300,000.
Wow.
That is huge.
That is huge.
Now, of course, that includes all of your premiums, deductibles, copays, whatever that may be, and that's projected over a 25 to 30-year period of time. That is such a massive number. And again, this is the number one reason that we see retirement plans completely fail. And it's not a failure here, but I have a couple of physicians that are not just my favorite people, but they're my favorite clients because we had the ultimate retirement failure knock on our door, and we were able to just completely blow through it and stay on track, and everything's going to be okay. I had to retire these physicians 10 years early because the husband had a massive stroke. I know they're watching right now because they're very loyal viewers and my dear friends. And it is such a blessing that I've been able to guide them through that, and continually we're together on a regular basis, making sure they're going to stay on track.
Yes.
So when the worst comes, we have to make sure that you're going to be okay.
Yes, absolutely. And Rob, what about quickly not seeking the assistance from a professional financial advisor?
So I think I talked about that earlier. 29% of the people out there don't have one. Over a 25-year span, self-managed retirements gain 50% less.
Yeah.
That speaks volumes in itself.
Absolutely.
50% less. So you've got to sit down, you've got to plan, you've got to look at everything that you have and where it's going.
Absolutely. It can be to your benefit. It
Very much so.
100% will be.
I don't think it's about the self-managed accounts and what they don't gain. It's what they do lose.
Yes.
Because people don't know how to protect that. And again, the pain from the losses is much more extreme than the joy from the gains.
Yes.
And we need to have that conversation, because if you lose too much money, you will not continue living the way that you want to. I've seen people have to go back to work in their 70s with health problems because they literally cannot pay their bills. I mean, it is so devastating, and they were self-managed. And they all say the same thing: oh my gosh, I wish I would have met you 20 years ago. Why did I not do this? Well, if I can give you just a little vision right there, please call. You do not have to be scared to call us. That's one of the things that I know you're anticipating. It's not gonna be like a root canal. It's gonna be like just a family visit. Let's have some fun.
And a cup of coffee or a cup of tea.
That's right.
Kristina, thank you so much. Rob, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, that number to call is 877-893-5099. This is your opportunity to take control of your financial future, take control of your retirement years. Don't miss the opportunity to call in, 877-893-5099. Be safe, be happy, be blessed. We'll see you back 1 week from today on Your Powerful Legacy TV with Kristina Payne Kepperling and Rob Kepperling. Take care.